Basketball, a long-standing symbol of freedom, the Statue of Liberty in Lower Manhattan. Welcome inside Madison Square Garden for tonight's matchup between the Memphis Grizzlies and the New York Knicks. The Grizzlies have won 3 in a row and are currently 2-0 on their Eastern road trip, while the New York Knicks have won 4 consecutive here at Madison Square Garden. Hi everyone, I'm Matt Devlin alongside Hersey Hawkins. The Memphis Grizzlies have had success on this road trip due in large part to the productivity up front. Stromile, Swift, Pau Gasol, they are combining to average 51 points, 17.5 rebounds, and they are shooting a remarkable 73% from the floor against Cleveland and Toronto. That's big-time stuff, Hawk.
That's crazy numbers, especially the field goal percentage. I don't ever remember being on a team where we had 2 players at the same time playing such good basketball. Look at Pau Gasol, 78% from the field, extraordinary numbers. And not only are they scoring, but they're doing other areas of the game playing well. The passing has been phenomenal. The defense, Stromile, Swift averaging 4 block shots on the trip. They're playing with a lot of energy, running up and down the floor, exerting a lot of energy, and shooting the ball well also from the outside. So it just hasn't been the layups. It's been comfortable from the field, and Pau Gasol has had his way on this trip. No one has been able to guard him. He's in a nice rhythm, being active around the basket, passing the ball well. What about that spin move? Defense can't get to him. Incredible basketball by 2 players.
Well, Hawk, the New York Knicks are trying to put together a run. Currently, they are 10th in the Eastern Conference standings. They're trying to reach that 8th spot. Remember, the last time they held that 8th spot was back in 1999. What did they do? They went all the way to the NBA Finals, and the package that led them there in 1999, well, they're on the court tonight in Latrell Sprewell and Allen Houston.
And that will be the package that will lead them this year. Sprewell and Houston, perimeter players, but games are not that similar. Sprewell's a slasher, cutter. Allen Houston can post up, likes to shoot the jump shot, will raise up right in your face. So when you're guarding him, get up on him, pressure, make him put it down, try to stay close to him because he has the 1-2 dribble, pull up for the jumper. Latrell Sprewell playing with a lot of energy, running the floor exceptionally well, shooting the 3-pointer better than any point in his career, very comfortable behind the line. And if the Knicks make the playoffs again, they'll be led by those 2 players.
You know, the last time Hubie Brown was in this building as a head coach, way back on November 29th, 1986, in the New York Knicks, with no time remaining on the clock, and Patrick Ewing at the free throw line with a chance to tie against Cleveland, couldn't do it. When we return, we'll talk about Hubie and his return.
Back to your home area or to a team that you had coached previously, you want your team to maximize their potential. If you win the game, great. If you lose the game, well, you know what? We played our best, and it didn't go for us that night. A lot like when we played in Philadelphia a couple of weeks ago. That was a barn burner right to the final shot. And hey, I had a lot of friends in the building that night because the guys in South Jersey all came to the game. So, I mean, that's how you look at it. As you get older, I think you really get away from all of that, you know. You're not into revenge, you know. You're not into hating teams. You're not into disliking players, you know. You're happy to have a job, you know, and you're just happy to be in the battle. So you're worrying about how your team is going to play rather than all this other nonsense that's going on.
Tonight, Hubie Brown will look for his first win here at Madison Square Garden since 1986. It's financial. Gatorade Thirst Quencher, is it in you? Buy the Brown Bag Special only at Sonic, America's Drive-In. Advance Auto Parts. We're ready in advance. Advance Auto Parts. Bell South Answers. More choices of service, all from one company, all on one bill. Bell South answering, listening. And by Michelob, the beer with a smooth taste and a nice finish. Welcome back to New York for this evening's matchup between the Grizzlies and the Knicks, and it is time for the Toyota starting lineups, and we will run through them quickly here on Fox Sports Net as we are set for basketball. And for the Memphis Grizzlies, this is the way it looks. Williams, Person, Swift, Gasol, and Miller. And of course, Hubie Brown is back as a head coach here at Madison Square Garden. For the New York Knicks, the Knickerbockers have Othello Harrington along with Latrell Sprewell. Kurt Thomas is in the middle, Howard Isley, and Allen Houston. And their head coach is Don Chaney in his second season. And the opening tap is controlled by the New York Knicks. Isley sends it to Houston. The New York Knicks in their home white. New York and brought it across the front, and the Grizzlies wearing the road black with Memphis. Memphis limits New York to one opportunity, and that is certainly a key, something that Hubie Brown talked about this morning at shoot-around. Get on the glass. Jason Williams for three, short, and Houston with a long board.
Yeah, the Grizzlies can get on the defensive glass, limit them to one shot, but also crash the boards offensively.
Allen Houston in the circle. The J is good, the 13th best scorer in the league, averaging better than 22 points a game.
Shoots the jump shot exceptionally well off the dribble, has that pump fake to go along with it, just to get enough to get the defense off balance.
Down low, Stroh Swift, shot doesn't go. Second chance opportunity for Stroh. The up fake. Second shot trickles in, and he knocks the score at 2.
And that's the type of effort we've been seeing out of Stroh Swift, the extra effort, getting the offensive glass and finishing on a difficult shot.
Houston wants to catch and shoot, and Person got a piece of it. And here come the Grizzlies. A minute and a half into this contest. Memphis has won 3 in a row, and for the first time ever in the history of this franchise, they've won back-to-back road games in March. Cutting through the lane, that's Jason Williams.
Great cut by Jason Williams. Howard Isley was watching the basketball. Jason Williams cut right behind him for the layup.
Isley looks on the interior. Harrington, he's left-handed. The shot does not fall. And Memphis running. That's what they want to do, get out into transition on this road trip, averaging 117 points a game. Stroh playing with confidence. Shot doesn't go, and Spree flies in and handles the board.
Stroh playing with a lot of confidence, getting the ball on the box, making his moves.
Jason Williams looks to save it. He does, right to Gasol after Sprewell took the J around the pick set by Thomas.
Pau Gasol missed Stroh Swift, going right down the middle for the dunk.
Stroh, and an offensive foul is going to be called on Swift, and that is his first. Memphis early on, 2 of 5 from the field, while the Knicks are 1 of 5.
Good defense by Kurt Thomas, reading the play. Stroh Swift right down the middle. He read the slip on the pick and roll, was there to take the charge.
And speaking of Don Chaney, prior to the start of this game, very concerned about Pau Gasol and Stroh Swift getting out into transition. He said, we just don't have the length to match up with them. Houston misses badly. And Swift with the board. Now 1 of 6 for the New York Knicks. Not a good start. Stroh, jumper, doesn't fall, and Swift 1 of 4 from the field. And you know he's feeling good about himself because he's taking shots early in the game, but that one's short.
He's raising up, not shooting, not wasting any time.
Harrington, always play him on that left. Always play him.
He wants to get to that left-handed jump hook. You have to force him to drop step and go back right.
New York won this matchup on January 31st at the Pyramid in Memphis, 108-102, and a foul. And a foul on Kurt Thomas. Thomas not pleased. Thomas fouled out of that first matchup, 17 points, 13 rebounds, or rather I should say 3 rebounds in 27 minutes of action, and you see how many he totals. It is a bundle.
And it would be difficult again for Thomas to guard Pau Gasol tonight. The only way he can guard him is to try to steal it before he gets it up in the air.
Pau Gasol, baseline, getting bumped and then fading, knocks it down.
Could have easily been a foul. Kurt Thomas pushing off with the right arm as Pau was going to the baseline.
4th in the league. And field goal shooting percentage, 52%. Harrington looks to save it, and tracking it down is Isley, the Boston College product. Harrington up fake, and a foul. And now Stroh Swift in early trouble, and that is a concern as Hubie Brown looks down his bench and finds Mike Batiste.
Pau Gasol operating on the baseline, Caught a little push with the right arm, fade away, nothing but net. Good sign out of Powell to come out and knock down the jump shot early.
Mike Batiste replacing Swift. That's a concern for Hubie Brown. Harrington trying to back down on Batiste. He'll find a different matchup there. And Harrington off to a quick start. He got off to a quick start at the Pyramid against the New York, for the New York Knicks. Had 8 points and 13 boards. Miller gives it to Gasol. Tied at 6. Powell back outside. Under 10 of the shot clock. Backing down. And a foul. 2 now on Thomas. And Don Chaney, he had his own concerns of that, and early on they are found, those concerns.
Yeah, Kurt Thomas, he's a hard worker. He just does not have the size to guard Pau Gasol on the box, and the Knicks are a team that does not like to double team the post, so they leave you out there one-on-one, and Pau Gasol's taking his time. Kurt Thomas has to go to the bench.
So Thomas out. And checking in is Clarence Weatherspoon, the Southern Mississippi product. Gasol has been streaky over the last month and a half from the free throw line. And Powell has 3 points, 2 rebounds, and an assist. Trapping on the wing, Isley. Turnover. Memphis has the numbers. Person right to the rack.
Nice job by Wesley Person to go all the way to the basket, make the defense commit. They got the trap, perfect area. Howard Isley dribbled right into the trap.
And Chaney desperately signaling for a timeout, and Weatherspoon received the pass on the backcourt trap. And the Knicks take a timeout. Early on, it's the Memphis Grizzlies on top of the Knicks, 9-6. Wesley Person had a dozen on Sunday against Toronto, his first 2 tonight. Grizzlies early on 4 of 8 from the field and off to a quick start. The New York Knicks have not been kind to former head coaches of the New York Knicks in their first return. The only returning coach to win, Bob Hill. Hill took over for Hubie Brown on December 1st, 1986. Second chance. Othello Harrington. Houston from the outside. No. And Houston early on, just 1 of 4. And the Knicks overall 3 of 10.
Well, regarding the coaches, no one ever said New York was the friendliest place to play basketball.
There's always a buzz in this building, Hersey. Always a buzz.
Always, despite the new arenas that have come up the last 5-10 years, New York is still the best place to see a basketball game and to call one, as a matter of fact.
You certainly have to experience it. Of course, the last time the Grizzlies were in this building, they won. Cutting, Gasol, Batiste handles, stripped away. Sprewell saves it. He just picked up a foul, and now a foul on Mike Batiste as he tore it away from Harrington.
Sprewell, quick hands. Pau Gasol with the back cut up top. Sprewell denying. Couldn't handle it, had an easy dunk if he was able to get a grasp on it.
Grizzlies this season are 11-10 against the Eastern Conference. The Knicks are 11-12 against the West. And a travel and a turnover by Latrell Sprewell. Sprewell was not at shoot-around this morning for the Knicks. He has not been feeling well. He called in sick and arrived shortly ago here at the Garden to play this evening. But as Don Chaney has said, he's played sick a lot of times and hasn't been at shoot-around before and come out and had spectacular performances. Batiste setting up. It's a 2. No. Gasol doesn't win the battle, and Weatherspoon travels. And Memphis gets it back.
Credit Jason Williams denying the outlet. Weatherspoon trying to corral a rebound. Jason, they're bothering him.
Neither team right now has been effective on the offensive end. Just missing opportunities, and there's another one.
Yeah, the two teams that shoot the ball exceptionally well, both coming out cold from the field, can't get into a rhythm yet in the first quarter.
Grizzlies now 4 of 10. Allen Houston, that one was in and out. Harrington has been the only effective performer for the Knicks early on. It's a 1-point game.
And Don Chaney has put the ball in Harrington's hands several times, and you don't see that much with the Knicks. It's usually Houston and Sprewell.
Batiste, no! And the Grizzlies have missed now their last 3 shots. Harrington has 6 of the 8 for New York. Isley, in the first meeting, had a career best 30 points at the Pyramid. Harrington is getting what he wants, and New York on top by 1.
Harrington using his size and his strength to back the Grizzlies right in the paint, getting to the shot that he wants to take. That's that left-handed hook.
This game right now is not being played at the tempo that the Grizzlies want. Remember, they've scored better than 100 points in 10 of the last 13 games, and a foul on Weatherspoon. The Knicks like to run, but against the Memphis Grizzlies, they definitely want to slow it down and get into a half-court game.
Yeah, talking to Herb Williams before the game, assistant coach with the Knicks, he was saying they don't want to get into that helter-skelter game up and down the floor. They want to slow it down, let it be a grinded-out game.
Got to help out Bennett Salvatore there. Ball landed at my feet.
Nice quick hands.
I appreciate that. Learned to pick that up from you over the last year and a half.
For you to shot it if you picked it up from me, right here from the table.
Gasol ends the drought. And Powell has 5 of the 11 points for Memphis.
Weatherspoon playing more physical on Powell, trying to get him out of the box. Powell stepped out, knocked down the jumper.
Once again, Harrington isolated in the lane over Batiste. Memphis needs to make an adjustment there.
It looks ugly, but very effective.
Harrington already has 10. He averages 7.5, Hawk, and as I mentioned earlier, had 8 in the first matchup on January 31st. Gasol, jumper, no. And the Knicks there. Here's Houston slowly bringing it up.
Pau Gasol, one too many ball fakes on that move. Had the shot.
Here comes Harrington. And stripped by Batiste. And 9 on the shot clock, and New York will trigger the basketball in.
Better defense by Batiste. Pushed Harrington a lot further off the box, so he had to take a couple of dribbles to get in shooting range.
Sprewell misses, tapped out by Harrington. Memphis out on the run. Stop and pop. Person. That's what they want to do.
That's the Grizzlies game. Get it up quickly. In transition, take the first quick available shot.
Oh, by the way, here's Harrington. Are they wearing this out? They certainly are. And an offensive foul on a fellow Harrington as he was trying to gain post position. If it works, try and go back there one more time and do it again. That time it didn't work. The Grizzlies out in transition. Introduces 5-4-3-2-1, the only show taking you inside the world of extreme sports every weeknight. BMX rider Kip Williamson, free surfer Chad Towersey, and Leanne Tweeden are the experts bringing you the entire world of extreme sports all in one place with breaking news, event highlights, and insider features that you won't find anywhere else. 5-4-3-2-1 tonight, 9:30 Central, only on Fox Sports Net. Shane Battier checking in for the Grizzlies. And you see his numbers back on January 31st at the Pyramid. Mike Miller getting some rest. Miller quiet here in the first quarter, had 9 points on Sunday in Toronto. Gasol short, and Weatherspoon handles the board.
Weatherspoon doing a better job on Powell defensively, using his body, good position, forcing him to shoot over.
Harrington spins base, and they will not count it. Or now are they counting it? Bennett Salvatore comes over, and I believe they will not. And it is on Batiste.
So Batiste made him spin to the baseline rather than getting to the middle with the left-handed jump hook. Now all he has to do is push him further off the box.
Houston, top of the circle. Here's Isley for three.
Deep three.
That was from uptown. Low scoring first quarter. Person swarmed by Sprewell in a hurry. Powell looking to make his move on Weatherspoon. Gets in the lane. Short once again. Gasol now 2 of 6. And Memphis shooting just 37%. In the first two games on this road trip, Memphis shooting close to 57%. Houston now 2 of 6, has 4 points, and New York by 1.
Allen Houston had Jason Williams on him. He went right to the post up. Didn't take a dribble, turned around and shot over.
Powell can't get one to fall.
Powell's looking for the foul. Has to get back, play defense, don't get frustrated.
Harrington has 12 of the 16. The other 4, Houston. Memphis 2 for their last 9.
New York, they'll run when an opportunity presents itself against Memphis, but they won't make a constant diet of it.
Pick and pop and baseline J. Mike Batiste, that's his shot.
Better shot for him, 15 feet, in rhythm, nailed it.
Harrington is having right now the quarter of his life.
I don't know how he made that shot. Looked like a 360, throw it up, went in.
Could you overplay the left side maybe? Here's Batiste. Got it. Net didn't even move.
Mike Batiste, last 2 baskets, keeping the Grizzlies in it.
Isley angling to the near side. Sprewell. 10 of the shot clock. Harrington wants it. Battier up on Houston. Houston right to the bucket. And blocked out of bounds by Shane. And it is New York basketball. 5 ticks remaining on the shot clock as Earl Watson and Brevin Knight replace Jason Williams and Wesley Person.
Good defense by Shane Battier on Allen Houston. Forcing them to put it down, go right all the way to the basket. He wants to stand out there and shoot jumpers.
Weatherspoon hands it back to Isley. Isley knocks it down.
How many times did we see that in the fourth quarter in Memphis? Howard Isley knocking down big shot after big shot.
New York by 3. Remaining seconds of the first quarter for the tie. Battier, no. And at the end of the first quarter, the Memphis Grizzlies entangled in a tempo of a game that the New York Knicks want to play, and they trail by 3, 20-17. And of those 20 points, 14 from right there. Number 32, Othello Harrington. Former Vancouver Grizzly. Othello Harrington with 14 points in the first quarter, his season best against Orlando in double overtime on February 28th. He had 21 and already 14.
He's well on his way to 21 points tonight, getting back to the same move over and over again. Eventually someone will get out there and play on that left hand and force him to do something that he's uncomfortable with.
One time he did spin baseline. Taken away by Harrington. Strohmeyer knocks it away. No call. Fortunately for Stroh, he already has 2. Battier. Here's BK looking for Earl. Takes the jumper. No. And the rims have been unkind here in the first half to Memphis. Grizzlies shooting just 38%, while the Knicks are starting to stoke the fire. They're shooting 48%. On the season, 43%, but one of the best three-point shooting teams in the NBA. In fact, number 1, 38%. That's a 2.
What a move to free himself up by Allen Houston. Faked like he was going back door, popped out for the quick jumper.
Batiste up top. Here's Watson. The second unit provide a spark for the Grizzlies. Batiste tries to make the move. Spins back baseline and knocked out of bounds. 4 seconds remaining on the shot clock.
Weatherspoon playing good defense on the box. Despite his size, Weatherspoon has long arms, so he's able to make up for his size with the length of his arms. That's why you see him block so many shots, challenge shots up top. You don't expect him to get there, but he does.
Harrington out, replaced by Doliak. And Charlie Ward is in, replacing Isley. Strohmeyer rises up. No, and Doliak limits Memphis to one attempt.
It'll be more difficult for Strohmeyer to back down Doliak. He's better off getting it on the perimeter, putting it down, using his quickness.
And a foul on Earl Watson. Stroh is now 1 of 5 from the field. And Charlie Ward will trigger the basketball in. Shandon Anderson. Here's Doliak. He likes that shot. Weatherspoon with the follow.
Weatherspoon sneaking in, no one blocking him out. Huge body. Picks up the offensive rebound.
Knight. And a blocking foul on Doliak. The Grizzlies trailing by 7, so Mike Miller is back out on the floor, replacing Mike Batiste, trying to provide some offense. He's yet to take a shot, as the Grizzlies averaging 15.2 points and shooting 50% from the field, and on this trip hawk, shooting 65%. There's Miller. Houston got on him in a hurry. Knight quickly to Watson. They dump it to Strohmeyer. 4 on the shot clock. Spin move. The double comes, and a foul again. And this one will be placed on the back of number 49, Shandon Anderson, former Georgia Bulldog.
Shandon Anderson coming down with the double team. The head Strohmeyer in difficult positions. Shandon left his feet, committed the foul.
Swift makes the first. Stroh with 3 points, a 72% free throw shooter. And how about those numbers of the last 3 games?
Amazing numbers. The nearly 5 block shots. That's what's impressive.
Pressure. Weatherspoon carries, and a turnover. And New York turns it over once again, and those turnovers are starting to mount. They've turned it over 7 times, Hersey.
And good job by Earl Watson denying Charlie Ward the ball. Weatherspoon had to try to get it over half court. Carried the ball.
Miller. Anderson on him now. Driving. And last touch by New York. It's Memphis basketball, and Mike Miller raising his arm up, trying to loosen it up a little bit.
And New York being very physical when the Grizzlies go to the basket. Grizzlies can't get frustrated, continue to attack the middle. New York, terrible, one of the worst in the league at blocking shots.
Knight misfires. New York on the season, 2.9 blocks a game. That's what they average. Underneath, oh, rejected by Swift. His head was above the iron.
That's what happens when you don't dunk the basketball underneath. Strohmeyer Swift comes in and swats it away. What a block.
Ward in the corner. Houston. Miller attacks in a hurry. Houston over Miller. 8 points for Allen Houston.
Allen Houston has knocked down his last 2 jump shots. He's a rhythm player. When he gets it going, he can fill it up.
Grizzlies have yet to connect from the floor here in the second quarter. Up fake. Swift loses his balance. Air ball. Put back. No. Denied. Battier. No.
Good hustle by Shane. Just couldn't get it to fall.
A lid on the bucket for the Memphis Grizzlies here in the second quarter. And Hubie Brown wants to use a timeout. And so he does. It's a 10-point advantage for the New York Knicks, and this Memphis Grizzlies team does not reflect the team that has played since the All-Star break. They are 8-6 since the All-Star break, and the Grizzlies take a timeout. The New York Knicks on top of Memphis by 10. 8:39 remaining in the first half. the game. It's a Southern Sports Report. It's 30 minutes in nightly sports news completely dedicated to the home teams throughout the South. For extended regional highlights and in-depth interviews, catch the Southern Sports Report immediately after this evening's game, only on Fox Sports Net. And of course, this is what they'll cover tonight: the Georgia controversy and an SEC tournament preview, and Greg Maddox. Spring training underway for Atlanta. Battier gives it back tonight. Shane over Weatherspoon. And the Grizzlies are able to connect finally from the floor here in the second quarter.
And when you're not scoring from the field, it's even more important that you get back in transition and play good defense. That's what the Grizzlies have to do.
Deflected by Anderson. He was unable to catch that dart. And so Memphis has the basketball on the turnover. And New York has turned it over 8 times, but the Grizzlies have produced only 4 points off of the previous 7 turnovers. Something that they took advantage of in Cleveland, of course, and then on Sunday in Toronto. Miller asking for the basketball. Here's Brevin Knight. Gets in the lane. Kick out. An offensive foul is going to be called on BK. Hubie Brown said New York's going to be tough in the paint and physical, and they have been every time that Memphis penetrates.
Yeah, that's how New York plays in the paint. That's how they played for a number of years. Kurt Thomas, Doliak, Harrington, Weatherspoon. When you go in the paint, they make you pay. They make you earn those baskets.
Ward back to Anderson. Sprewell averages better than 17 points a game. 6 on the shot clock. Doliak. Sprewell 3, 2. Too strong, and Watson, and a chance to run. New York tries to recover. Battier, easy deuce. So Shane has 4 points here in the second quarter.
Grizzlies one of their few open court opportunities. Good penetration by Earl Watson.
Under 10 remaining on the shot clock. Doliak cuts. Stromile right there. Shot doesn't go. Weatherspoon and Swift tapped out to Miller. And another chance. Brevin finds Miller. Gets by Weatherspoon. Battier underneath. Good. And the foul. Battier muscling up down low on the post. He has 6.
The toughness of Shane Battier. Shandon Anderson, good defensive player. Shane gets great post position and turns around, challenges Shandon, shoots right over. Foul committed, has an opportunity for a 3-point play. But how about before that? On the perimeter, bigger player on him, puts it down, raises up for the jumper.
Shane on the road is an 86% free throw shooter. He has the last 7 points for Memphis. Stromile went for the steal. It didn't work out. 5-point game. BK in the circle. Shane gives it up. This is Watson for 3. No. Weatherspoon on the board, gobbles it up. But right now, the Knicks have 21 rebounds. The Grizzlies being out-rebounded by 8. They have 13. Another turnover by the Knicks. Memphis started the second quarter 0 of 8, and they made 3 consecutive. Battier, 3 of 3, 6 points. And then that free throw, and now he has 7.
And despite it not being the Grizzlies' pace, they're only down 5. They're taking care of the basketball, and eventually they'll start making shots.
Swift and a turnover. The 5th. Anderson spins. Ward, 40% 3-point shooter. Watson with the board. Memphis running. Here's Miller. And a foul on Mike Miller. And he cannot believe it as he talks with Bennett Salvatore. Bennett Salvatore, Tony Brothers, Anthony Jordan, the 3 officials tonight. Mike Miller in disbelief. The Grizzlies trail by 5 at MSG. Seth, well, on Sunday at 3 o'clock against the Atlanta Hawks, it is gospel afternoon. Post-game concert from the Mississippi Mass Choir. For group ticket information, call 888-HOOP. Limited tickets remain, so call right now. That's 888-HOOP. Operators are standing by. Once again, operators standing by for gospel night or afternoon with a 3 o'clock start time. Ward, Sprewell, Doliak, Weatherspoon, and Anderson on the floor for the Knicks. Person, Stromile, Gasol, Miller, Williams on the court for the Grizzlies. In a zone, Williams ahead to Person in transition, sealed by Ward in a hurry, and Miller thought about it. Stromile, pass out of bounds off of New York, and it's Memphis basketball.
New York stepping in. Every time one of the Grizzlies go to the lane, go for the layup, you have someone standing there ready to take the charge.
Guarding the pick and roll well. Person. Here's Ward. Anderson kick out. Spree just waiting. No! And Stromile with a strong side board. Another chance to run. Memphis shooting just 33%. 11 of 33. Jason Williams can't connect. Anderson quickly ahead for the deuce. 7-point game.
Grizzlies continue to get the defensive stop. Struggle on offense. New York, several transition baskets. The Grizzlies have to get back on defense.
A season ago, Shane Battier led the Grizzlies in scoring against New York, 17.5 points. And in the first matchup, he had 14 tonight, leading the way with 7. Now matched by Gasol, who has 7 after that bucket. Sprewell, quickly, Anderson, baseline move. Stroh cuts him off, but Weatherspoon had the positioning underneath.
And when Stroh goes over and cuts off the driver, Pau Gasol has to step in front of the dive man to make sure he doesn't get the layup like Weatherspoon just got.
Miller, double, turnover, deflected. And Mike Miller goes for the save, and he runs right into Marv Albert. And it's New York basketball.
You have to see, is Marv okay down there?
Marv is okay. His coffee was sent flying. Thomas, early foul trouble. Well, he's back out on the floor. Baseline J.
Nice play. Thomas, Sprewell, side pick and roll. Defense double teams. Thomas, open spot, knocks the down the jumper.
Right now, the New York Knicks, a team that has won 4 in a row here at Madison Square Garden, is having their way with the Memphis Grizzlies. 27 here in New York, 3:38 remaining in the second quarter. Thursday and Friday, the Pac-10 tournament tips off. Right here on Fox Sports Net, 8 teams go head-to-head to see who will take home the Pac-10 championship and an automatic berth to the NCAA tournament. It all begins Thursday right here on Fox Sports Net. Great time of year in basketball.
Let's do it.
This game tonight, Hawk, certainly reminiscent of the way the Grizzlies played in Houston. Stroh throws it down. Maybe that'll be a spark. That was the second game of a back-to-back, February 22nd. And since the All-Star break, that is the one game that Hubie Brown talks about as being the one game in which Memphis just didn't play well. Losing in Houston 93-82.
Yeah, there haven't been many nights where they haven't gone out and put forth the effort. Stromile Swift right down the middle. Nice bounce pass by Mike Miller for the jam. And like you said, maybe that will ignite the team now.
7-point game. Anderson, no. Gasol. Here's Miller. Sends it back to Williams. Crossover in the corner. Person up top. Gasol puts it on the deck. Loses it. Now tangled up. And a jump ball is called.
Powell dribble right into the defense. Good ball movement in early offense. He's standing top of the key. He can make that jump shot, try to get to the basket. Both he and Ward on the floor for the loose ball. Powell should win this jump ball easily, but watch the Knicks trying to steal the ball.
Harrington on the floor, along with Thomas, Houston, Sprewell, and Ward will jump with Powell. Miller, Williams, Swift, and Person. Right to Swift. The double comes. Charlie Ward has closed quickly on Person out on the wing. And then scrapping there, comes away with the steal. Thomas. No. And a foul on Harrington. Doesn't agree with Bennett Salvatore.
Wesley Person battling Harrington on the box. Boxing him out, trying to deny him from getting the offensive rebound. When you work hard, good things happen.
All 14 of those points earned in the first 12 minutes. Gasol, he's got to be quicker with the basketball. Tough to body down with the New York Knicks. Houston, three, no. Gasol with a rebound.
Good job by Powell, not pouting, getting back and picking up the defensive rebound.
The three ball by Jay Will. 4-point game. The tempo in favor of New York, but the Grizzlies are hanging tough. Here's Houston.
Give the Grizzlies a lot of credit. They're hanging in there.
And Gasol intentionally letting Harrington know that he's around. I think a lot of frustration for Powell.
I like the foul by Powell. He wasn't getting the defensive rebound. So Othello Harrington, you're not picking up the offensive rebound. Throw him to the floor, make them take it out of bounds on the side.
Under 2 minutes remaining in the first half, of the Grizzlies have cut it to a 4-point lead. It was 10, and now it's back to 6. Houston has 10 points. 24 between Harrington and Houston. Williams, it's a three between the eyes.
The Knicks were trying to push the side pick and roll down. Charlie Ward trying to push it to Kurt Thomas. Jason Williams raised up and shot the three.
Over the last 3 quarters, he's really shot the ball well. Miller. He started slow in Toronto, 2-7. Person, no. Gasol, second chance opportunity. Stromile makes a move, steps back, baseline, connects. 1-point game.
Big jumper by Stroh. Good unselfish play. Jason Williams had the three, tried to get Mike Miller involved in the offense. Ball ended up in Stroh's hand.
Stroh just earned his third, and so now Mike Batiste or Shane Battier will have to enter, and Hubie Brown goes to Battier. Grizzlies on a 9-2 run. And so Shane replacing Stromile Swift, who had some lift here deep into the second quarter, 7 points and 4 rebounds. And Ward at the free throw line. Ward makes the first. Charlie, 77%, former Heisman Trophy winner out of Florida State. He's been around New York for a long time. That's one of the reasons why he continues to climb the record books.
And they love Charlie Ward here in New York.
They do?
Goes out, plays hard every night, very unselfish.
They do at times. Come on now.
Well, that's at times with everyone in New York.
And a foul, and this one will be placed on Thomas. And Kurt Thomas now in trouble. And that's number 3.
And I don't think any player has liked the fouls being called on them this half. Powell, nice duck in, and Kurt Thomas grabs him. Tried to deny him the basketball. It was a foul.
Well, it's interesting that you note that about Charlie Ward, because this past weekend, the New York Knicks defeated Washington. Michael Jordan's final return here to Madison Square Garden, a huge event. Final score 97-96. New York over the Wizards, and MJ had 39 points, and Shandon Anderson came out and was harsh on the fans, saying, why did they cheer him? And, you know, you don't want to get that going here in New York, because they'll let you know about it.
You're exactly right, and I don't agree with that. Michael Jordan, why wouldn't you cheer? I don't care what cities he's in.
Weatherspoon stripped by Battier, and New York retains possession. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Just under 26 seconds remaining in the first half. The Memphis Grizzlies have absolutely done a wonderful job hanging tough with New York. And the physical play of the Knicks. Weatherspoon rises up. Got it. So Clarence Weatherspoon connects.
Weatherspoon likes to go left. Had a smaller Shane Battier on him. 2 dribbles. Showing he can put it on the floor and hit the jump shot.
6 points and 7 rebounds already. Jason Williams has knocked down 2 threes. Gets by Ward to the bucket for Powell. They'll wave it off, and a blocking foul is on Harrington. Tremendous dribble drive by Jason Williams.
Excellent move by Jason. Charlie Ward, good defensive player. Crosses them over up top, and Harrington standing in the restricted area. Has to be called, 1 foot standing on the line. Automatic blocking call.
And Powell just went over it to Bennett Salvatore and said, "Now you call the foul after my easy dunk?"
And he called it a couple of seconds late.
So Williams, an 83% free throw shooter, connects with the first. Had 17 points and 12 assists against Toronto. His 12th double-double. J. Will gets both. Turnover, and it's Memphis basketball.
Another careless turnover by New York. You want the opportunity to score, but get the ball in bounds, be safe. You don't get the basket, you don't get it, but they give the Grizzlies an opportunity to take the lead.
How huge would that be after trailing by as many as 10? Person. Bennett Salvatore said that it was touched by the New York Knicks. And coming over is Tony Brothers. And Salvatore.
The shot clock will be reset to 4.7 seconds.
In a conversation, it's going to be the Memphis Grizzlies. And Don Chaney now is having a conversation with Salvatore. And now they're turning it over, and Tony Brothers is saying, no, it is New York's basketball. So now they need to get the shot clock righted. It is on your screen at home, and it's not here in the building. And now it moves to 4.7.
4.7 seconds, that's plenty of time. You can dribble the length of the court and get a basket in 4.7 seconds.
Turnover! Battier!
And he made it!
Shane Battier!
What a shot!
Oh, reminiscent of Larry Johnson in the building.
Woo, what a shot by Shane. I think he may have been fouled by 3 or 4 people on that. Plenty of time. Shane Battier gets in and takes his time, raises up, and he's fouled from behind. Kisses it off the glass.
And now Bennett Salvatore wants to head over, and I believe he wants to have a look. Yes, that's exactly what he wants to do. And you see the reaction, and I'll tell you what, Shane Battier, not only on the defensive end, but also on the offensive end, has been a spark. 4 of 7 shooting, has 10 points. And Shane said this about playing at the Garden last year, how special it is every time he comes here. And of course, he played here as a member of the Duke Blue Devils. All 10 points in the second quarter. He scored the first 6 for the Grizzlies, in fact 7 in this quarter. And now the opportunity to score the last 3 for the Memphis Grizzlies in this quarter. And the Grizzlies, no matter, will carry a lead into halftime unless a miraculous response by the Knicks.
Be nice to complete that 4-point play.
He does.
Shane Battier.
Oh, shades of Larry Johnson, LJ, right?
Coming back to haunt the Knicks this time.
Shane Battier off of the bench, 11 points, leading the Memphis Grizzlies. The first 7 in the last 4 of the second quarter, certainly the difference. And the Memphis Grizzlies trailing by as many as 10 here in the first half. Now lead by 3 at the end of the first half at the world's most famous arena. Back to MSG. It is halftime and a remarkable turn of events in the second quarter. The Memphis Grizzlies lead the New York Knicks 45-42. Hi once again, everyone. Matt Devlin alongside Hersey Hawkins and Hawk. Shane Battier started the second quarter out, scoring the first 7 for the Memphis Grizzlies. He ended by scoring the last 4. However, in between, when things were really slowed down for the Grizzlies, it was Jason Williams in 2 big threes that he knocked down that really provided a spark.
It sure was. The Grizzlies, they were struggling at that point for points, couldn't get into a nice rhythm, and Jason Williams has done such a good job on this trip of getting everybody else involved that he took it upon himself to take a couple of shots, knock down some big threes. Good movement without the basketball. Defense turning their head. Then late in the second quarter, knocking down the 2 big threes to get the Grizzlies back into the game. And that was the energy that they needed.
When you take a look at Jason Williams, since the All-Star break, he leads the NBA in assists. He is second overall right now in the NBA in assist-to-turnover ratio, only trailing Kevin Ollie. He has been phenomenal, and how about those numbers over the last 3 games?
Those are huge numbers, and you can see Jason Williams wanting to get players more involved, risking and sacrificing his own shot.
Memphis Grizzlies lead here at New York at halftime, 45-42. The final game of a 3-game road trip for Memphis. Memphis is 2-0 on this road trip. Overall, they've won 3 games, and they return home tomorrow to take on Jay Williams and the Chicago Bulls. Tickets are available. Call 1-800-4-NBA-TICKS. Tomorrow night at the Pyramid, it's the Bulls and the Grizzlies. Memphis has won 4 of the last 5 at the Pyramid. We will see you there. When we come back, first half highlights and more from Madison Square Garden. Clothing provided by James Davis, voted among the top 10 stores in America by Fairchild Publications. Welcome back to Manhattan at Madison Square Garden. The Memphis Grizzlies at halftime lead by 3, 45-42. Matt Devlin alongside Hersey Hawkins and Hawk. Othello Harrington in the first quarter, he dominated, 14 points, just 7 shy of his season best 21 points that he scored against Orlando in a double overtime game. But then in the second quarter, it was Shane Battier, 11 points for the Memphis Grizzlies.
Yeah, Othello Harrington came out and got the Knicks going because no one else was hitting any shots. Allen Houston came out cold. Trell Sprewell still hasn't gotten it going. But Othello Harrington carried the load. The only thing stopped him was foul trouble. He was able to get to the left hand several times, picked up a couple of offensive rebounds. And Don Chaney kept putting the ball in his hand. He was a hot player. Shane Battier, like Jason Williams, came in at a point where the Grizzlies really needed some offense. He was able to come in, hit some shots, jumper, nice post up in the end of the second quarter. I'm amazed at how he was able to keep his concentration. Hit from behind. Charlie Ward's going underneath him in front of him, and he still banks the shot in.
Tremendous body control by Shane Battier as we take a look at the first Tennessee first half stats. The Memphis Grizzlies shooting 42% from the free throw line. They have an advantage there. How about from downtown? New York 0 of 5 on the season, 38% from three-point range. They've yet to connect second chance points in favor of the New York Knicks. And the rebounding edge cut by the Memphis Grizzlies. Points in the paint. New York Knicks +8. Can the Memphis Grizzlies extend their winning ways? That tale to be told.
Sportsnet.
Grizzlies basketball on Fox Sports Net is brought to you by Dodge. Grab life by the horns. Advance Auto Parts. We're ready in advance. Advance Auto Parts. And by Gatorade Thirst Quencher. Is it in you? A view of Midtown, the Empire State Building, and the Memphis Grizzlies leading by 3 with an unbelievable turn of events. And late in the second quarter was Shane Battier's 3, and then of course getting fouled on the play and committing the 4-point play. And Battier leading the way. He has 11 points. Jason Williams back-to-back 3s. That was huge for the Grizzlies. He has 10. And Pau Gasol has been bumped and battered a little bit, but 9 points produced in the first half. And leading the way, Othello Harrington, 14 all earned in the first quarter. Allen Houston with 10. Weatherspoon and Anderson 6. Jason Williams in the month of March averaging 10.4 assists a game. The difference between the first quarter and the second quarter, Battier and Jason Williams. And remember, in the first quarter and second quarter on Sunday against Toronto, he was 2 of 7, and then he came up huge in the second half. Can the Grizzlies win 3 in a row on the road in March? They've never accomplished that in the history of the franchise. Under 10 of the shot clock. Gasol will fire over Thomas. No! Stromile, Swift, and Thomas collide. That's not Pau's range.
No, he settled for that shot instead of putting it on the ground and forcing Thomas to play some defense.
Harrington, a rare miss. I was about to say, where have I seen that before?
About 10 times in the first half.
Here's Stromile, jumper. No. The 2 big men sitting outside looking for jumpers.
Playing right into the Knicks' hands when you're settling for jump shots.
Isley finds Thomas. Thomas over Pau. Connects. 1-point game.
Thomas showing he has to step back. Pau Gasol closed on defense. Thomas with a step back and drain the jumper.
At just 4 points against Washington. Jason Williams for 3. Too strong, and Isley tracks it down. Thomas with 4 points on just 2 of 4 shooting. Slowed by foul troubles.
The Grizzlies have come out and taken 3 straight jumpers, not putting any pressure on the inside defense of the Knicks.
Houston comes up short. Person was all over him, Hawk.
Wesley Person has played good defense on Houston tonight.
Pau gives it to Stroh. Gasol once again. Thomas on him. Under 10 of the shot clock. Pau into double digits. He can operate from that area.
Yeah, that's more in his range. Because if he puts it down, he's one dribble and he's at the basket. Raised up, right in Kurt Thomas' face.
Here's Houston, it's a 2. And speaking of in your face.
Right in his face. But Wesley Person, good defense, was all over him. Had to jump out of the way to avoid the foul.
Underneath, Miller was silent in the first half. 0-1. Sprewell guarding him tightly. Miller looks to make the move. Spins in, left hand, no! Harrington quickly ahead to Isley.
Both Miller and Sprewell did an exceptional job on one another. Neither in the scoring column yet.
Count it. And Harrington now with 16 points as he spun baseline with the left hand, of course, on that side of the block.
But when you let Harrington get the ball right underneath the basket, you can't stop him. Turn around, shoot a layup.
Miller. Grizzlies just 1 of 5 in the third. That one was going down and it popped out. Now 1 of 6. Another slow start for Memphis to begin a quarter. Thomas over Swift. He's knocked down a couple of shots here in the third quarter.
Grizzlies going through another lull offensively. The defense has to stay solid. Help one another out. Defensive rotation is important.
6-0 run by New York. Gasol looks to give it back to Williams. Under 10 of the shot clock. Jay Will in the circle and a turnover. And Williams, a rare turnover. That's his second of the night. He has 3 straight double-figure assist games in overall. Combined 36 assists coming into tonight over the last 3 with just 6 turnovers. A phenomenal rate of exchange. Here's Houston. Person guarding, and prior to the shot. And Wesley Person earns the foul, and Salvatore blows the whistle.
Wesley Person putting his hands on Houston as he was trying to drive around him. You can't grab a player, offensive player, with 2 hands.
Houston gives it to Thomas, and it rattles around and through. And Kurt Thomas now with 8 points. And a quick timeout taken by Hubie Brown. It's an 8-0 run now by the New York Knicks as they lead by 5, 52-47. And all the momentum that they picked up heading into halftime zapped away by long jumpers to begin the third quarter.
A long jumpers, and the Knicks getting it going offensively. Kurt Thomas, several jumpers in the third quarter. Offensively, the Knicks' defensive pressure, extending their defense, has taken the Grizzlies out of what they want to do offensively. Now they have to match New York's intensity, move the basketball, make that defense move before you take the shot.
New York has won 4 consecutive games here at the Garden, averaging close to 102 points a game and allowing just 95 during that stretch. And they haven't lost on their home floor to an Eastern Conference team in some 2 months. As you see what the Knickerbockers have done. Swift across the timeline. 4 minutes in now to the second half. Gasol up top. Here's Swift. And a foul is going to be charged to Harrington, and so Harrington just picked up his 4th.
You don't want to pick up a 4th out on the floor playing defense. Rather make it meaningful, not a touch foul.
Gasol, quick move, and he gets underneath the bucket. Person on the other end, no. And Wesley struggling. Person now 2 of 6. Isley finds Thomas, elbow jumper, spills out. And Harrington loses control. And Memphis basketball.
Good offense by both teams, coming up with good shots. Neither team could knock down the jumpers.
The Grizzlies being outboarded by 5. Miller finds Gasol. Thomas on him. Powell. Shot clock down to 6. Fires over. No. Once again settling instead of putting it on the floor and trying to get by him.
And the Knicks defense, you're going to put it down, go quickly before they can get set and the guards can dig down on you. They can move quickly.
Thomas. Sprewell. The shot clock had been reset inadvertently, but Swift commands the board. Williams to Miller. Miller makes the move. Sealed on the baseline. Double in trouble. Gasol kicks it out. Ball reversal. Person for 3. No. Offensive putback. And Gasol has 13.
Nice offensive rebound by Pau Gasol. Right over the back of Kurt Thomas. Didn't bring the ball down. Laid it up nicely off the glass.
That time he was quick in his response. Houston slowed by Person. Powell hedges. Here's Sprewell getting into the action. Talking about being quiet. 1 of 5, his first 2 of the game. And you don't want him to start getting the feeling.
You sure don't. If he gets going, he can carry a team by himself.
5-point game. Powell makes the move in the lane. Off glass. And they're calling it offensive. And Powell cannot believe it. Hubie Brown in disbelief.
Pau Gasol, quick move to the middle. And I don't agree with that being an offensive foul. I think once you get in the air and you're in your shooting motion, the defensive player shouldn't be able to step in front of you and catch you as you're coming down.
I agree with you. An awful call. and Hubie Brown in discussion with Bennett Salvatore. The Memphis Grizzlies trailing by 5 to the Knicks. Pac-10 tournament tips off right here on Fox Sports Net. 8 teams go head-to-head to see who will take home the Pac-10 championship and an automatic berth to the NCAA tournament. It all begins Thursday right here on Fox Sports Net. Thomas and the New York Knicks lead by 5. The Grizzlies just 2 of 10 here in the third quarter. Houston wide open. Jumper doesn't fall, and Miller grabs it. And the Grizzlies, can they run? New York gets back. Jason Williams rips the cords.
A little more bounce than the Grizzlies step coming out of the timeout. They got the defensive rebound and right away pushed it up and got into the early offense.
Isley finds Thomas. Pick and pop, shot doesn't go. Tapped up by Harrington, and Swift corrals the rebound.
Good job by Wesley Person helping on the defensive boards, preventing Harrington from getting the offensive rebound.
6th rebound for Stroh. Gasol coming off of a career-tying best of 32 points against Toronto. Wants it back, gets it. 7 on the shot clock, gives it to Stroh from way outside. What are you doing there?
That's why Pau Gasol couldn't get into his offensive move. Stromile Swift was standing in the corner, his defensive player helping out.
Houston, it leads to Houston going right into the lane with a scoop shot. And back to a 5-point advantage after Jason Williams had cut it to 3. This is a game, Hawk. As Stromile Swift. And 1! This is a game where you miss Lorenzen Wright. His physical play.
Yes, his toughness inside. New York are more physical than the Grizzlies tonight. Stromile Swift makes a very difficult shot. Harrington picking up his 5th foul. Stromile turns around, throws it up, makes up for the 3-pointer. He shot in the corner.
So Stroh looking for a 3-point play the way he should be looking for a 3-point play, as Harrington has to leave with 5 personal fouls, and Stroh completes the 3-point play. And so the Grizzlies in a 2-point game, but this is a tempo in which Lorenzen Wright can really set a tone and provide the Memphis Grizzlies with that toughness and determination that they need. Isley, pass taken away by Williams. On the run, Person ties it up.
Great anticipation by Jason Williams, reading the pick and pop to Wesley for the layup.
Don Chaney forced to use a timeout. The Memphis Grizzlies on a run. Jason Williams sends it ahead to West. 56, the Grizzlies on a 7-2 run. Get your family in the starting lineup with the new Pepsi family plans, and prices start at just $44, and you know it. And you love it. 4 tickets, 4 hot dogs, 4 Pepsis, and a 6-pack of Pepsi products. An ex-Pepsi family plan is for Sunday's game when the Grizzlies take on the Atlanta Hawks. And don't forget, it's also gospel night, so stick around after the game for a free concert by the Mississippi Mass Choir. To order your tickets, call right now. 888-HOOP. 1-866-648-HOOP. Call right now. Operators are standing by. Gospel night, the Pepsi family game plan, the Grizzlies and the Atlanta Hawks. And tell them, speaking of Hawks, that Hersey Hawkins sent you. And call right now. 888-HOOP. Jason Williams with a dozen. Averages 11.9. 7-16 on Sunday against Toronto. Finished with 17 points. Spreewell trying to get into the action. Here's Isley for 3. They've yet to connect from downtown, and Weatherspoon in a bit of foul trouble. Weatherspoon picked up his 2nd as Harrington had to leave with 5.
They can not afford for Weatherspoon to get in foul trouble. Had a solid first half. Grizzlies now opportunity to take the lead.
Weatherspoon in the first half, Hawks, 6 points, 7 rebounds, and 3 blocks. Mike Miller has yet to produce. Here's Person. Gets fouled by Weatherspoon, and speaking of foul trouble, there's number 3. Miller, a nice find. And remember, Mike's not playing 100% because of the bad back.
A nice curl by Wesley Person. That hesitation pass got Weatherspoon off balance, reached in, hit him on the elbow.
The Knicks have done a good job of keeping the Grizzlies out of transition. But one of the concerns of Don Cheney was the length and the size and the quickness of the Grizzlies' big men and running out of options down low. Houston, Sprewell. Miller got on him in a hurry. Isley. Sprewell up fake. Circle jumper short. Strohmeyer controls. Memphis a chance to run. New York quickly gets back. Turnover.
Sprewell flat on the jump shot. Grizzlies miss an opportunity in transition. Jason Williams leading Wesley Person. He was trying to lead him into the three-point shot.
Miller has played 28 minutes, has 5 rebounds. He will take a seat along with Swift, Batiste, and Battier on the floor. Battier with 11 points in the first half. Memphis by 2. Isley turns the corner. Got around Battier.
Grizzlies can't let that happen. They're in the zone. You can't let Howard Isley drive all the way to the basket and lay it up.
Powell complaining that he was being held. West, no. And Battier held down and no call.
Have to play through it, not get frustrated.
Houston off the mark. And Allen Houston now talking.
Everyone's
Anthony
complaining.
Jordan. And a travel. So Mike Batiste turning the basketball over.
And we'll see with all of this play which team keeps its composure. Batiste shuffles the feet before he puts it down on the ground.
The Grizzlies now eclipsing the Knicks in turnovers. 15. Here's Thomas. Houston for 3. Still no answer from outside. Thomas, no. Tapped out. Batiste. Williams. Here's Wesley Person. Catch and shoot. No. Powell. Throws it back up. Battier. Pops out. Batiste finally. Tenacious on the boards.
Grizzlies relentless on the offensive glass. Several easy opportunities. Finally getting one to fall.
New York has yet to connect from three-point range. Sprewell. Short corner, Thomas. No, weak side board, Battier. This Knick team looks more reminiscent of Jeff Van Gundy's Knick team, doesn't it? Here's Williams. No.
New York coming into tonight, the best three-point shooting team percentage-wise in the league.
38%. They've been shut down. Thomas. Here's Sprewell. Got it. The fewest they've made this season in a game is 2, and that is their first. And they lead by 1. Sprewell.
Despite anyone not being able to make any shots, the pace the last 2 minutes have been to the Grizzlies liking. Quick shots.
Jason Williams draws a contact from Howard Isley. And under a minute remaining here in the third quarter, and little scoring in the third.
Pau Gasol thought he was pushed on the play. This is Shane Battier. This is the chippy, but there's Batiste cleaning up the offensive glass.
Jason Williams misses the first. The Grizzlies, 73% on the season from the free throw line. On the road against Cleveland, 58%. Against Toronto, they were 10 of 12, 83%. And Memphis this evening, 12 of 15. The New York Knicks, Percy, 2 of 2.
When you shoot a lot of jumpers, you don't go to the basket much. You have to hit those jumpers in order to win games.
5 of the shot clock. Isley over Gasol.
Tough shot by Isley. Pau Gasol challenging the shot on the perimeter.
6 points for Howard Isley. Here's Powell. Thomas on him. Powell makes a move, spins back, and a foul on Thomas, and that is his fourth. Nice move by Gasol to spin back middle, and that created the contact. And
Thomas, he cannot be looking at the official thinking that's not a foul.
oh, yes, he can.
If that's not a foul, I don't know what a foul is.
So Gasol at the free throw line. Brevin Knight in, replacing Jason Williams. Gasol good with the first. He's 4 of 5 tonight from the free throw line. He has 14 points overall. What a night he had in Toronto. 32 points, tying his career best. He's reached 32 3 times this season against New York, at Philadelphia, and then at Toronto. Watch out, Eastern Conference. Game tied at 63. And last touch by Memphis. New York basketball, as Earl Watson slow to get up.
As well as Brevin Knight reaching down, grabbing his calf.
Grizzlies cannot afford to lose BK. Remaining seconds here in the third quarter at the Garden. Tied at 63. Isley for 3. Knocks it down.
Howard Isley coming to life. 2 big jumpers in the third quarter.
Watson for 3. No. So at the end of 3, the New York Knicks lead by 3, 66 to 63. And this game has been physical and certainly to New York's liking here in the third quarter. It was Othello Harrington, but Shane Battier had the response to end the first half. Hubie Brown has 12 minutes. 12 minutes. Can he come away with his first W here at Madison Square Garden since 1986? And we are at the Garden as we begin the fourth quarter. And the New York Knicks lead by 3. Matt Devlin along with Hersey Hawkins. Sprewell. And so the Knicks, who did not make a 3 in the first half, have made 3 here late. Late third, early fourth. Sprewell has 2 of those.
For the Grizzlies, the fourth quarter is all about mental toughness. Will they be able to stand the physical presence of the Knicks?
Batiste underneath. And Mike Batiste with 8 points. Batiste over the last 7 games averaging 10 points, 4.5 rebounds. And on this road trip, shooting 50%. Shandon Anderson. There's Sprewell. Dumps it on the inside. Another 3, and Spree is on a roll.
The three-point barrage has started. And they're getting the ball inside, kicking it outside to the three-point shooters.
11 points now for Sprewell. 4 of 10 shooting. Strohmeyer up fake on Thomas. Thomas has 4 fouls. Put it on the floor and go to the hole. Battier in trouble. 2 leaning. Gets it back. Kicks it out. And a recycled shot clock. Stroh had it up top with Thomas on him, and Thomas with 4 fouls. Put it on the deck and create something. Battier underneath. Gets Thomas to leave the feet. Rejected. 8 on the shot clock. Down to 7. Shane has 11 points. Battier is going to have to do it in a hurry. And he travels.
I agree with you. Attack Thomas. He takes pride in his defense, so he won't let you score if you start to go around him. He'll commit the foul before he gives you the basket.
You see the Knicks run and a turnover, so Memphis gets it right back. Grizzlies have won 3 in a row. 2 in a row on the road. The first time ever in the history of their franchise that they've won 2 in a row on the road in March. Memphis 3-2 in the month of March. Strohmeyer kicks it out. BK looking for help. Down to 5, 4, 3. Watson for 3. Short. And Memphis right now playing into the hands of the Knicks.
Knicks buckling down on defense. The Grizzlies not enough ball movement. They're forcing up shots now at the end of the shot clock.
Weatherspoon and Sprewell steps right on the sideline.
Sprewell had gotten himself wide open in the corner. No one near him.
15 turnovers. However, Memphis has just 10 points off of those turnovers. Grizzlies have been cold here in the second half. BK right through the lane. Memphis shooting now after that shot 37%.
BK got away with a little traveling going to the basket.
Nothing like an evening walk in Central Park. Thomas misses. Sprewell, watch out. No. Stromile commands the rebound. Swift with 8 boards. 2 rebounds away from another double-double. He has 3 consecutive double-doubles. Batiste has it knocked away. Stromile. And a violation in the cylinder.
Offensive basket interference.
And an offensive basket interference.
Stromile trying to tip it in as he was hanging on the rim.
5-point game. Plenty of time left here at the Garden. It's 30 minutes of nightly sports news completely dedicated to the teams throughout the South. For extended regional highlights and in-depth interviews, catch a Southern Sports Report coming up next on Fox Sports Net. And of course, the Georgia controversy will be covered in a preview of the SEC tournament. And Greg Maddux in action for the Atlanta Braves during spring training. 8:25 remaining here in the fourth quarter. 5-point game. Knicks with the basketball and the lead. Houston guarded by Miller. Pulls up over Miller. Shot doesn't go, and BK with a board.
Difficult shot for Allen Houston. He's been sitting for a while. Has to come in and force up a jumper.
Underneath, Stromile throwing it down.
What a pass by Brevin. Threw it exactly where he needed to, away from the defense, to Stromile for the Showtime jam.
Thomas, and it hangs on the iron. Stroh, 12 points and 9 rebounds. Battier, this would be huge. No. Weatherspoon taps it up to Stroh.
Oh yeah, the Stroh show is out. Active in the fourth quarter, giving the Grizzlies that energy they need.
6-0 run by Memphis in a 1-point game with 7:29 to go here at MSG. Denied by Battier. Swift tonight. Memphis down by 1. A chance to take the lead. Stroh! Miles Swift up and down on the feed from BK. And Chaney wants to use a timeout. Memphis by 1. And Swift all by himself is on the run. How about the hookup? Yeah. Strong, you're putting on a show. Here's Harrington, skip pass. Quickly on the inside, this is Weatherspoon. Stroh has to be careful. Stromile Swift. Williams gets contact. Powell on the inside. Stroh, and it rolls in. Stromile Swift on this 10-0 run has 8 of the 10 points.
Great duck in from the weak side. Used this leaping ability, jumped and shot it right over Weatherspoon.
Stroh got a piece of it. Houston from the outside, no. In his 12th rebound, Stromile Swift has come alive here at the Garden in the fourth quarter. Jason Williams trying to infuse a little bit of energy there, a little bit too much.
Jason going for the dagger early.
The tie by Sprewell. That's where that 3 burns you a little bit. Hubie Brown saying that Jason Williams played perfect basketball the final 6 minutes in Toronto. Gasol rolls out.
Gasol can get that shot whenever he wants to of a Weatherspoon. Put it on the floor. Put some pressure on the defense.
Sprewell tries for back-to-back. Can't connect. Wesley Person for three. Person drills it.
How about that fast break? Ball never touched the ground. Outlet to Jason, who found Wesley for the three.
Wesley in transition, excelling from downtown. Harrington, quick move. Left hand. Powell was draped all over him.
Good defense by Pau Gasol, but Harrington getting to that left hand in the lane. Lots of arch on the shot.
18 points, 13 rebounds for a fellow Harrington playing with 5 personal fouls. Person. Here's Gasol. 7, 6 on the shot clock. Makes his move. Good. Pau Gasol with 17 and 10. Another double-double for Pau. Houston, his first 3 of the game.
Defense falling asleep when you score. Get back and match up. Allen Houston runs the right wing every single play to the corner for the three-point shot. Defense wasn't there. Ward found him. He buried it.
The best three-point shooting team in the NBA is just 4 of 17 from downtown. Tied at 80 with 3:58 remaining. Pau Gasol with 17 points in another double-double. But Allen Houston ties it up as he racks up that 3. We appreciate this blow-by-blow as the Grizzlies and the New York Knicks are tied at 80. Fox Sports Net introduces 54321, the only show taking you inside the world of extreme sports every weeknight. BMX rider Kip Williamson, along with free surfer Chad Towersey and Leanne Tweeden, are the experts bringing you the entire world of extreme sports all in one place. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And the Grizzlies had 2 shots there. All from downtown, outside of 2. Thomas. 7 on the shot clock. Sprewell over Battier, too strong, and Strohmeyer deflected by Houston. Wesley for 3, racks it up.
New York left the wrong man open. Wesley Person running the floor. Jason found him weak side.
Memphis 6 of 19 from downtown. Houston goes for the tie. And Swift once again climbing up and grabbing the board. He has 14. Oh, how downtown are you?
Oh, he would have knocked that one down.
He was on the express train on that shot.
Grizzlies have finally gotten this game played the way they wanted to play it.
He was shooting that from the Bowery. Isley knocks it down. Knocks it at 83. 2:41 remaining here at Madison Square Garden.
Has there been any other field goal attempts this quarter besides 3-pointers?
Oh, just 1 or 2. Williams. Under 10 of the shot clock. Jay Will for 3. No. Weak side board. Pau Gasol keeping it alive with a refurbished shot clock.
Good job by Pau. Get it in Jason's hands. Set up something again. Get in a play.
Gasol looking to dunk in. Thomas and Pau. Here's Strohmeyer up fake. 4, 3, 2. No. Battier and Sprewell. And Sprewell into the front court, and the crowd on their feet here at Madison Square Garden. Under 2 minutes remaining. And kicked by Shane. Shot clock remains at 16 with 1:48 remaining here. The Grizzlies 8-6 since the All-Star break. Overall, they've won 3 in a row, and on this 3-game Eastern road trip, 2-0. This one, unlike the previous 2. 7 on the shot clock. Swift with another block. Williams to Person to Strohmeyer. Swift in the second half has been unconscious. He has 20 points overall.
Strohmeyer getting the 2 points after the great block shot on Isley, shooting the 3.
13 points in the second half. Under 10 of the shot clock. Houston, no. Thomas will head to the line. The foul is on Battier, so Stroh remains with 4 personal fouls, and Battier just earned his first. And Thomas heads to the line, and this is your Dodge drive of the game, Hawk.
Great defensive play. Nice bounce pass by Wesley Person. Strohmeyer running the floor. The easy dunk.
Thomas, 74% from the free throw line. He has made 22 in a row. And the Knicks, hard to believe, have attempted just 3 free throw shots. They are 3 of 3 from the line. And the Memphis Grizzlies, with 1:14 remaining here in the fourth quarter, lead by 1, 85-84. The Bell South trivia question: who has the longest active streak of consecutive games played? Percy, I know you know.
Yes, I know this one. And I'll give people at home a little time to think about it before I say.
I think most people at home will be stunned, possibly shocked. Would you not agree with that?
Yes, well, okay, there it is.
Shandon Anderson, 481 consecutive games played. That's actually hard to believe, isn't it?
That's a lot of games played in a row, but if you take care of your body, and if you're only playing sometimes 5-6 minutes a night, you can get to 481.
And take a look at the active leaders. There's Stockton. How about Moochie Norris, Mark Jackson, and Antoine Jameson? And
which Mark Jackson is that?
That would be the Mark Jackson with the K in Utah, former New York Knick. The Mark Jackson with the C resides in Minneapolis, Minnesota.
You have 2 old guys on that list of consecutive games, Stockton and Jackson.
Strohmeyer Swift has 10 points in the fourth quarter. He has 4 dunks in the fourth quarter. He has been sensational. And Thomas to tie it. He does. He's made 23 in a row, Hersey.
That's the man you want at the free throw line in the fourth quarter.
If you're the Knicks. Nearing a minute remaining here at Madison Square Garden. The last time the Grizzlies were here, they won by 2, 90-88. And a foul on Thomas, and he better watch out. He just earned his 5th.
Believe me, if there were not 1 minute left in this game, Bennett would have called a technical one-up.
1:01 remaining. 14 seconds on the shot clock. Strohmeyer Swift. Harrington on him. He has 5. Gasol looks to set the screen. Stroh underneath. Hustling. Isley deep in the corner. Picks it up.
Good defense by Kurt Thomas. The Grizzlies tried to go to Pau Gasol. Kurt Thomas forced him to do something else.
Houston. Battier. Offensive. Shane Battier once again deep in a game at Madison Square Garden, coming up huge like he did on December 20th on a Thursday night here a season ago.
What defense by Shane, crowding Allen Houston, push off. I think that's an easy call. The fans didn't like it, but he pushed off with the right arm.
You see the differential at the top of your screen. Game clock, shot clock. Williams tries to shed Isley for the lead. No, gets it back. And Memphis can hold for the final shot.
Jason Williams up top by himself, taking it to the basket for finding a shooter.
Jay Will looks to make his move. Jason Williams for the win. Jason Williams, 1.4 of a second remaining. Looks over at Roy Jones Jr. and said, that's the blow. Jason Williams between the eyes.
Jason was giving him the blows to the body, not to the head.
Time will be added to the clock, and that is why It's a body blow and not the knockout punch.
Howard Isley, good defense. Jason Williams gets in the air first. Howard Isley doesn't challenge the shot. Jason Williams, huge basket, puts the Grizzlies up 2.
Jason Williams giving the Grizzlies a 2-point advantage.
Check out the low blows.
Telling Roy Jones Jr., I'm in a heavyweight bout here at Madison Square Garden.
He's still punching.
Jason Williams, how about the way he has played on this road trip and in the month of March? And you look at what he did back in the first half with 2 big 3-pointers. And then he comes up huge here after missing a 3 earlier. But of course, as you know, and this is what makes him so deadly, he has the courage to take a shot like that. 1.7 of a second remaining. And at the hash mark, Isley will trigger the basketball in.
Watch Houston with a quick pop out. Trying to get to the ball. He's coming back off the double.
There he is. Falls short, and the Memphis Grizzlies down the New York Knicks, ending their 4-game home winning streak. And the Memphis Grizzlies have now won 4 in a row overall. They are 9-6 since the All-Star break. And Memphis, for the first time in the history of their franchise in the month of March, have won 3 in a row on the road. And they improved to 12-10 against the East. And what a return for Hubie Brown. The first time that he has won a game at the Garden since 1986. 17 years separating victories for Hubie Brown. And Jason Williams comes through along with the Gatorade Player of the Game, Stromiles Swift, his 4th consecutive double-double.
And putting up huge numbers with those double-doubles. 20 points tonight, 14 rebounds. 4th quarter at one stretch, totally took over the game, got the Grizzlies back into it. And it was Jason Williams at the end with the big shot. But Stromiles Swift, lots of energy tonight.
Stromiles Swift, phenomenal play tonight. And now it's time for the Advanced Auto Parts Play of the Game. And we will provide that for you as the Memphis Grizzlies win by 2, 87-85. And I wonder what it is, Hersey Hawkins.
I'm wondering myself as we sit here. See Jason wiping the shoes, taking his time, watching the shot clock. 1-on-1. And like you said, this was such a big shot. He had missed a 3. And right before that had missed a short jumper at the free throw line. Grizzlies got the rebound, put it back in his hands, win it for us, Jason, and that's exactly what he did.
15 points for Jason Williams. The Memphis Grizzlies come to Madison Square Garden for the victory. And what a night here in New York as the Memphis Grizzlies down the New York Knicks. Memphis now 22-41 overall. Just one victory away from tying their franchise record in wins. And tomorrow night, it's the Chicago Bulls. Our next broadcast next Tuesday against the Minnesota Timberwolves. Southern Sports Report coming up next. For Hersey Hawkins, I'm Matt Devlin. What a night in New York!